Hello everybody, it's your boy Snyder1 with Snyder Elite Gaming, bringing you a hero analysis video. This week a new champion hasn't come out, so we're not analyzing that champion yet, but we will. But fortunately, we did get a request for Aurora, so we're going back into the vault. We're pulling her out because it's been a while since anybody's really talked about her, and we're going to try to break her down to give you guys the information that you want and that you need. Now, Aurora is the queen of crowd control. She is the go-to person because she's just downright fancy with it. But, you know, on her release, she was a baller. But due to some, quality life changes, some card, reworks, she hasn't been valid as of recently. Her viability is just questionable. But she did have a re-emergence when FaZe came out, and that's all because nobody was running Purity Sensor. Now, does that make her a good choice now? Does it make her a bad choice? I'll get into that a little bit later, but let's go ahead and talk about her as a champion, her roles, and kind of give you guys the skinny on, how she should be played and some considerations you should be thinking about. Now, predominantly, she is an offlaner. She's always being played in the offlane, and I do kind of agree and kind of not agree, and I'm going to tell you why. So, her kit is set up for the team fight. She's all about ganking people, freezing them in their footsteps and really allowing your team to wipe the floor with them. But by being an offlaner, the offlaning role really requires your due diligence in pushing that lane and being by yourself, being self-sufficient, and you're not really around for those team fights. Your rotations aren't really expected, so you're really fighting against the role when you're playing with this champion's kit. That's not to say that it's a bad pick, but it's just saying that you're going to need to pay attention more towards your lane, and you may not get as many opportunities that you would have gotten in other roles. Now, personally, I recommend her in the jungle, and there's one reason why. She could be everywhere and anywhere. Her ganking potential is off the charts because she has a freaking smooth way of getting right behind you, knocking you, freaking getting you with a freaking slow / root. Then she busts her ult in your face, and then you die. It's simple, it's easy, it's calculated, and it's awesome. Now, yeah, you do have to put up with a pretty bad wave clear in the beginning, but it gets easier as you get more power. As you start empowering her auto attacks, it's not that bad. It really isn't. It's definitely manageable for a good jungler. So that's really based on your ability to manage your champion. Yes, she requires a lot of mana. Yes, she doesn't have a lot of health. But you can overcome that because the upside is there. It is definitely plausible. It's definitely something worth trying, and it's something I recommend. I do see her sometimes being played as a support, but having a melee support really hinders your ability to take the tower early, and especially against like a Wukong who could just push you right out. It's just kind of not, it's not viable. So I recommend jungle. If you want to go with the trend, go off lane. That's basically how this champion works. Now, the way her kit is set up is she's very much a hybrid. She is very ability based, and she can be auto attack based. It really, her scaling's not too bad in either category. So I definitely recommend power. I definitely recommend attack speed, and then I recommend some kind of utility, whether it be armor, whether it be some way to survive your engagements, your initiations, stuff of that nature. So whether it be a stasis gem or a blink charm, that's up to you. But utility, attack speed, and power is the way to build. On the screen right now is a sample build. I run a temper plate tune barrier for sustainability, so you don't die automatically when you do your engagement. I got 25 power between the wind carver blades and stasis gem, and then the attack speed in order to empower her auto attack, just in case they counter your abilities altogether. So you can defend yourself. So you have some means of damage other than your abilities. Now, counters. There are a lot, and they all have to do with cards. Hunter's Guile, Purity Sensor, Thermobond, Stasis Gem. These are just basic counters to her, and they are complete counters because she relies on her CC to do damage. So there's a period of time that you don't take damage from her ult, and if you cleanse yourself during that time, you don't take any damage from her ult, and you're good to go. You're going to get away scot-free, and she's completely countered. And that's a problem. That's a super problem, and that's why this champion is not played often. In low ELO, you may get away with it. You know, the gamble might pay off because nobody's running those cards or whatever. You know, you might squeak a game out. It might be perfect. But there's so many stuns. There's so many freaking pop-ups, roots. You know, she's being countered hard by Thermobond, by Stasis Gem, by all these different cards that negate her kit. So she's not very viable at the moment. But, you know, maybe if the card rework gives her a couple really cool abilities, you never know. It may completely change her quality of life, and she might be, you know, the #1 CC person in the game again. But because of those counters, let's get into the grading. I can't give her anything higher than a D. I'm sorry to say it. She's just not competitively. It's very easy to put a Thermobond in your guys' deck, or even a Hunter's Guile. I mean, even a Purity Sensor if you're an Order Affinity. You know, it's not hard to counter her, and those counters play a big part in the grading process. So I give her a D. For you low ELO, maybe a C-. You know, like I said, you might squeak a win in. But she is definitely fun to play. I do recommend you guys taking her into some kind of solo versus AI, checking her out, seeing what she's got. And, you know, she's fun. She really is. She has escapes for days. You know, it's super satisfying executing people off your abilities and then really just meleeing people to death. It's amazing. That's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like the content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Become part of the Elite Gaming community today. Become part of the family. I take pride in y'all. It is a super pleasure to be the content provider for you. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. It's really worth it. I have a lot of followers, but it is not enough. Please share this video. Give it out to your friends. Give it out to your family. Enrich their lives. Bring the spirit of Paragon to them. It'll be freaking amazing. That's all I got for you guys today. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.